situation. You perhaps are a woman in leadership, maybe you are a man in leadership, and you are having a conversation with someone and you feel a little bit of pushback, meaning that you feel as if you're being challenged a bit. Well, this happens often. And in this video, we're going to talk about one secret. Yes, I did say one secret that will help you be able to navigate those moments when you are getting the sense that someone is challenging you or you have some pushback. Now, this secret is one that I share with you that's a bit different than what we typically talk about here on the channel. But if I had to just give you one secret, that's what I'm going to do for you today. If you are new to me, welcome, welcome. And if you are one of my absolutely amazing subscribers, welcome back, friend. This channel heavily focuses in on advanced communication skills and strategies that will help you to communicate under pressure in those very high stakes situations that you face as a leader. Whether you are at the beginning of your leadership journey, more seasoned in your leadership journey, being able to communicate under pressure is a critically important skill you want to have. Now, when it comes to handling pushback, this is itself a hallmark, and thank you for the heart emojis, friends. This is a hallmark of high stakes communication. Handling pushback is something that you absolutely want to be able to learn how to do. On this channel, we've talked about this, and I have over 1,100 videos that are solely dedicated to high stakes communication to show you how do you speak in these situations, what should you say, what should you not say, how should you say it, when should you say it, where you should say it, and all those things. So if you like this content, you definitely want to take a look at my playlist of the videos I have on my channel that will help you be able to say what you need to say in those complex situations. But the secret I want to share with you before I go into it, when you're dealing with pushback, there's a lot that goes into handling it. The one secret I share with you today is a secret that will help you regardless of what the situation is. But remember, how you say it, when you say it, where you say it, all of that does play a huge factor into how you are handling pushback. But the secret I want to share with you is that when someone comes to you, and thank you for the heart emojis, friends, when they are giving you pushback, there's a couple of things that are happening behind the scenes where this secret I'm going to share with you is going to come into play. Typically, when someone's coming to you and they're giving you pushback, they already have an agenda in place. They know exactly what it is they want to talk to you about. They know exactly what they believe to be an issue or a point of discussion that they want to have with you. So they have taken their time to prepare in advance as much evidence or as much information as possible to make sure that they give you pushback. So keep that in mind. Never underestimate when someone gives you pushback. There's a way you need to change in terms of how you interact and etc. But we talk about that a lot on this channel. Now, as I mentioned, when someone is giving you pushback, they are already prepared. In their mind, they know exactly what they're going to say. Majority of the time, unless they are a seasoned communicator or a seasoned executive like myself, they may not talk about something great that you have done or positive that you have done. They are probably going to solely focus on the negative. And that's just because that's how people are. Whenever they feel as if they want to have a conversation with you about something that's a problem, they're going to focus on whatever it is you're doing wrong. Everything you're doing wrong, right? Everything you're doing wrong. Now, if you like this information so far, definitely want to subscribe to the channel because we go over high stakes strategies like this all of the time. When someone comes at you with pushback, specifically, and they're telling you this is a problem, that's a problem, they're trying to debate you, my one secret that I would share with you to handle pushback is to have some data. Have some data. What do I mean by that? As I mentioned, when that person says you're doing this wrong, you're doing this incorrectly, or I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, most of the times they are not expecting you, one, to respond back. They're expecting you to say, oh, okay. Or if they are somewhat seasoned, they may expect you to respond back in some way, shape, or form. I want to say hello to Tree Stories. Hope you're doing well today. And they're expecting you just to agree with them or maybe say something back. But what they're not expecting you to do is to be able to articulate your argument or your reason for disagreeing with what they are saying with some form of data. Thank you for the heart emojis, friends. What I mean specifically by data, regardless of what industry you're in, there are certain key data points, key metrics that you should always have in your mind at all times. If you are working in the finance industry, you're going to need to know a lot about AR. You're going to need to know about collections. If you're in healthcare, you're going to want to know information about patient satisfaction, patient outcomes, and et cetera, et cetera. There are always going to be key metrics that you will absolutely want to have in the back of your mind at all times to discuss and have available when pushback comes to you. Now, there's different aspects of different industries, and if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't really know how to gather this data. How do I become really prepared to be able to speak on data? I'm going to give you 2 examples of what you can do. Actually, probably 3. Actually, 2. The first is to take some time and read up on your industry specifically. Meaning, look online, look at reputable news sources. As we know, sometimes the news sources are not reputable, but filter that piece out. Look at reputable news sources or publications or organizations that will showcase exactly what's going on in your specific industry. And whatever data points you see, pull those out and talk about them specifically when it comes to that. I want to say hello to Bishop Burton. High five, Bishop. Good to see you, friend. How you doing today, Bishop? Bishop says, well, morning, my sister. It's good to you. Thanks so many. Oh, you're so welcome, friend. And Bishop, good to see you, friend. I hope you and everybody else is doing fantastically well. Thank you for the heart emojis, friends. But take some time to look at your industry, whatever industry you're in. There is some type of publication that has some data points in it. Therefore, when you get that information, you store that in the back of your mind. You store it in the back of your mind and keep that together. The second part of it is, let's say you've gotten your data, you know what's going on in your industry, then you have to look specifically at your role. So for instance, if you are in various industries, you have to know those metrics that people are looking at all the time from an executive level. If they're looking at the number of new patients, if they're looking at the number of new members, if they're looking at the number of new clients, if they're looking at the number of cases that have been sold, there's a lot of metrics that only you probably know that people are paying attention to. Therefore, when you take some time to gather that data together and look and see what those metrics are telling you or what those trends are telling you, this is the type of data that you need. Therefore, when someone gives you pushback, and I'll give you an example. When someone says, I don't particularly appreciate the way that you are, or I don't like, how we are being able to, let's say, retain clients. Okay, we're having a hard time with client retention. I believe that there's an issue with the structure. Maybe you're not doing it correctly or you're not following our system. Well, my pushback, or what I would say in response to this pushback, I would have data already in place in terms of the number of clients that have came through my process or my department specifically. Know the number that's came through, know the reasons why they did not want to move forward with whatever program service that you're offering. Also, what are some of the barriers that you've seen happen to these clients? Friends, this is how you handle pushback. Getting upset about it, taking it personal, being emotional about it is the fastest way to not be someone that becomes a high stakes communicator. You don't want to respond overly emotionally. You do want to respond with data and with facts. Now, as I mentioned, there is, of course, ways for you to say it, how you say it, when you say it, and all of that are critically important. And if you're at a point on your journey where you know that you need some additional support customized to you, then you are more than welcome to reach out to me at exciteexcellence.org. I will be more than happy to get you at a place where these concerns that you have are not concerns anymore, and that you feel very confident about handling pushback when it comes up. But if you can respond with data, as I mentioned, this is a secret. There's all kinds of things that go into responding to pushback. As I mentioned, how you say it, when you say it, where you say it, tone of voice you say it, all of that, eye contact, all of that, all of those things we talk about here on the channel are critically important. But having the data is the secret that I would share with you. That is the very first thing I would tell anyone to make sure that they have together if they are handling pushback. Now, I will tell you this, on top of the secret, as I mentioned to you, in terms of having data when you're having a pushback, this is my other secret. Are you ready? You can't wait until Pushback to gather this data. This is information you will need to gather along the way. You will need to be that person, as we say in policy, because I've read policy legislations, given feedback and all those things, and interacted with congressional leaders. But I will say this: you have to know a little information about a lot. The only way you can truly do that is by making sure you know as much as you can about a specific topic all the time. Be that person that is constantly learning, constantly wanting to enhance themselves, and constantly reading what's going on in the news. I cannot tell you all how much time I devote on YouTube. I devote at looking at articles constantly to see what's going on in the world, what's going on in the economy, what's going on in the leadership space, just so that I'm prepared for when someone comes on a live stream and gives me pushback or talks questions about things, that I am prepared for them. This is how you become an exceptional high stakes communicator. This is exactly what you do. You prepare, you prepare, you prepare. And some of you may say, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to read all day. I don't want to look at things all day. Well, you have to find what you're passionate about. And when you find a situation, a topic, an industry you are very passionate about, looking to see what's going on in the trends should be something that you are interested in learning more about, not something that you detest and do not want to do. Now, I've shared with you the one secret today that will help you be able to be in a position where you can manage pushback and handle pushback. And I encourage you all to make sure to get your data together. Now, to learn more, definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit a like for this video. It will help other people to see it. And join me later this evening. I will be going live, but it will be much, much later in the evening today.